everyone, and a very warm welcome to Mrs. Toomsoo.
Thank you. Hello.
Right, so today we've got a game which is called Estimating a Number of Objects, and for this you're going to need a number line. This one's from 0 to 30, but you could use one from 0 to 100 if you want to use bigger numbers. You need a pen and a rubber. You're going to need an empty container, and you need some objects that you're going to take out and estimate how many there are. Now we've got some dice here, but you could use counters, beans or conkers or pasta shells or anything like that, anything you find at home, okay? So this game is fantastic for looking at written forms of numbers and comparing that to a group of objects, and then comparing the different numbers on the number line. It's really good for counting and for mathematical vocabulary. Now I'm going to hand over to the very capable Mrs. Toomsoo to explain how to play it.
Right, okay. As Mr. Davis has clearly said, we need an empty container and we have a container full of dice. So I'm going to grab some of the dice and I'm going to put them into the empty container, and now I'm going to estimate without counting how many dice I have in there. So I estimate, Mr. Davis, that I think there are 8 dice in there.
Okay, so we're going to mark Mrs. Toomsoo's guess on the number line. So Mrs. Toomsoo says there's 8, and I'm going to estimate that there are 10. Of course, if you've got a much younger child, they'll have a sort of good look at it, but we're just having a quick glance because we're adults to make a guess. Okay, so what do we do next?
Okay, so then we empty the container onto the table, on the floor, wherever you're working with your child, and we count them out one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then we look at our number line, and Mrs. Toomsoo was dead on. Correct.
Well done,
my
fantastic.
estimate was correct.
Excellent.
Okay, so
We're going to rub out my suggestion, and all you leave is the correct number.
okay, so we have 8 here, and I'm going to take away this amount.
What about Mrs. Toomsoo if we went for, if we put the 8 in the jar and we decided that we were going to make a bigger number, so you take some more
Ooh.
and then add that.
Okay, so I'm going to put the 8 back into
Because you were thinking
container.
about going for a smaller number,
I
weren't you?
was, which the number would have been lower, but we'll go for a higher number.
Just for
Okay, so
demonstrations.
8 into the empty container,
Which is
and
on the number line.
a few more.
So we know it's going to be a larger number than 8, so it's got to be one of these numbers going this
So
way.
the number has to be bigger.
Okay. But you only added in a small handful, is that
A
right?
small handful.
Okay, so it wasn't a great big handful, so it'd be a
No.
really big number, it'd be a small one. Okay,
So the jump from 8 wouldn't be that big.
okay. What would you estimate
I'm
the number is now?
I'm guessing 13.
You're going to go for 13. Okay. I'm going to sit very close to you there. I'm going to go for 12. So we know it's bigger than 8, and now we're going to find out how much more it
Okay,
is.
so again you empty the container with your child and count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one group of 10.
Okay.
11, 12. Mr. Davis,
Wow,
your
that makes
estimate
sense.
was correct.
So we're going to rub that one out. Just before we carry on, I'd just like to add, if your child's really experienced at counting the objects, you could count in 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But I like Mrs. Toomsoo's suggestion that you put it into groups of 10, because that's the beginning of place values. So hopefully you can see that there's one group of 10 and 2 left over, which is 12. And we can relate that to the number line. Now, could we go for one more? We've got an 8 and we've got a 12. I'll give you the choice this time. Would you like to go for a larger number, or would you like to go for a smaller number? And therefore we can add the vocabulary, because we could say, well, the number's going to be more than 12, or we might say the number's going to be less than 12.
I think should go for a bigger number.
You can go bigger still. Okay.
Bigger.
Good choice. Okay.
Aiming high. So we have 12. So we remind the child that we already have 12 in the container.
And we've seen what 12 looks like. Okay.
And then get the child to choose a few more. So I mean, when you're speaking to the child, you'd ask them, so if we're adding more, the number's getting bigger. So the number that they estimate will surely not be smaller than the 12 that they've already.
Can we have just
Become-
a little look at how many you've got in your hand? Because it's quite nice, just from the child's perspective. If the number was going to be a lot bigger, I might go, well, this is a much bigger number, I might go for that. But you haven't gone for a number that's
No, there's only a few.
only a few in there. Okay,
So trying to get your child to understand that
so it's a
if
few
there's
more.
a few more, not a massive amount more.
Okay, so it's not a lot larger, so the vocabulary you've got to play
So I'm going
with
to change that now because we all know exactly.
that. We both had a peek, didn't we? I
Yes.
think we've got a good idea what it is.
So
okay.
we all know now. So we're going to take some and put
Okay.
them into the container.
Oh, right. What would be your new estimate now?
Okay, so remembering that there were originally 12
Yep,
in
just
there
there.
and there's only a few more, so the number has to get bigger only slightly. I'm going to estimate that there are 15.
You're going to go for 15.
Yeah, because there's only a few more.
So what I like about this is each time we're doing an amount, we're relating the actual number of objects onto a number line, which sort of makes it makes these numbers for small children a lot more real. I think looking at that though, it looks a bit more than 15 to me. So I think I'm going to go for 17. Okay, so there are two estimates, and now if you'd like to count them out, we'll find out who was closest.
Let's all important to make sure the container's completely empty. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Or you've made a group of 10 again. So we've got one group of
A
10.
group of 10.
Lovely.
Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means a group of 10, 10. Then adding my 6 would make it 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Lovely. So we'll add that in. And of course, when you add the real number in, you've also got the opportunity to talk about how far your number as an estimate is away from the actual exact number. So how many more or less, and you could count along the number line. But we've got our third number in here now, and that was our largest one, and that's 16. So I think a great activity with a wide range of mathematical skills that you can bring into it. So that's estimating the number of objects. So thank you very much.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Zoo.
Thank you for listening, and we look forward to hearing about this in class and the children enjoying this activity at home.